everyone, it's Rohan here, back with another video, and behind me is my one monitor desk setup. I wanted to build something clean and compact, but flexible enough to handle my day-to-day work, and then unwind with some gaming in the evening. So in this video, I'll walk you through the full setup, break down each piece of gear, and show you how it all comes together. Let's start out with the foundation of the whole setup, and it's the E6 from Flexispot. I got it in this white on white finish that I think really brightens up the space, but more importantly, it's a sit-stand desk that helps me get through the day. And at 55 by 28 inches, the surface has plenty of desk space, and the dual motors handle height changes smoothly and quietly with a weight capacity of up to 352 pounds. It also comes with a digital control panel to save your favorite heights as presets, making it super simple to change positions with a single tap. As for my daily usage, I usually stand in the morning to keep me alert and on task, but by the afternoon, I usually bring it down to a sitting height where I'll settle in for the rest of the day before winding down. It's clean, it's functional, and you'll kind of see it sets the tone for the rest of the workspace. On top of the desk, I have this desk shelf from Danverwood. Originally, I was looking at Grovemade, but they didn't have the color I wanted in stock, so I started looking for other options. Oddly enough, Etsy, of all places, had a wide range of different sellers for desk shelves. And shout out to the folks over at Danverwood. They have so many solid options on their Etsy page, but they were kind enough to make this one custom for me. The one that I picked comes in this white top with oak wooden legs, and I think it gives it a really clean and minimal aesthetic that blends in really well. And it measures at just over 36 inches across, which means it has a good footprint without feeling overwhelming on the desk. What I really like though is the split shelf design with the added flexibility to change the position of the middle dividers. So when I get to my desk, I'll plug in my laptop and put it on the middle shelf in the bigger space. And then in the smaller space, I've opted to put my dock here for easy access. Overall, the shelf definitely adds more usable space, helps to reduce clutter, and adds a nice bit of depth to the setup. Now, the monitor of choice is this Ultragear monitor from LG, and quite honestly, it's one of the most impressive displays I've used so far. At 32 inches, the size feels perfect, big enough to immerse you in your content, but still fits well without being overwhelming. But what I really love is the design of the stand itself. Now, most gaming monitors have these really wide feet that stick out. This monitor comes with a flat base, which has a relatively small footprint, while keeping the space under the monitor usable. Plus, the stand still comes with full adjustability, height, tilt, swivel, and even portrait rotation if you need it. So moving on to the display itself, it's a 4K OLED panel with a peak brightness of up to 1300 nits, which means content ends up looking sharper, colors are more vibrant, and there's deeper contrast to achieve those inky blacks. It's honestly one of those things that once you experience, it's really hard to go back to another monitor. In terms of performance, you're getting 4K at 240 Hz, but with the push of a button, you can bump that to 480 Hz at 1080p, which is perfect for things like FPSs, MOBAs, and even some racing games. Plus, it supports both G-Sync and FreeSync Premium Pro, which means smoother gameplay without any tearing. As for connectivity, around back you have two HDMI 2.1 ports, a display port, a USB-C port with up to 90 watts of power delivery, and then two USB-A ports for things like accessories and peripherals. And I think that combination of I/O, resolution, and frame rate makes it a great monitor for all-day use. For the laptop, I'm going with my trusty M4 MacBook Air. Apple already had a really great formula with the Air, but with every iteration, they seem to make it that much better. The design is as clean and minimal as it gets. Slim, squared-off edges in that beautiful anodized aluminum sky blue finish, and at 2.7 pounds, I barely notice it when I'm carrying it around. The one that I have here comes with a 10-core CPU and a 10-core GPU, 16 gigs of RAM, and 512 gigs of storage, which is more than enough for productivity and creative work. It's powerful enough to handle light video editing and stay silent the entire time due to a completely fanless design. Battery life is another highlight. The M4 chip sips power so you can get through an entire workday and even maybe a little bit more without having to worry about a charger. It's the sort of thing I can throw in my bag and trust it's going to keep up wherever I am. As for the display, it's what you'd come to expect from Apple. A sharp Retina display with great color accuracy and brightness, so everything from documents to videos looks crisp. And then surprisingly, the speakers sound really good too. They're not the top-firing speakers of the MacBook Pro, but for a thin and light, they still pack plenty of depth and clarity. Altogether, the MacBook Air is thin, light, powerful, has a really great display, good battery life, and covers all of my needs for an all-day portable machine. Next up, let's talk about this Thunderbolt Dock from Kensington, and it mainly stood out to me because of two reasons. One, for the connectivity it adds, and two, for its compact design. So it's a Thunderbolt 3 dock, which means you get fast data, display, and charging. And while it's not Thunderbolt 4 or 5, it's still more than capable for my everyday use. On the front, there's two USB-A ports, a USB-C for data and power, a combo headphone jack, and then both microSD and full SD card slots. I especially love having that full SD card slot, as the MacBook Air doesn't really come with one, so it makes transferring footage way easier. On the back, you get another USB-A port, gigabit Ethernet, not one but two display ports, and then a Thunderbolt port with 60 watts of power delivery. One thing to note though is that even with that display port, it only supports refresh rates up to 95 Hz. So if you want to push those higher refresh rates, I'd probably recommend directly connecting to the monitor's USB-C port, or looking at some other dock options that support those higher refresh rates. That being said, the Kensington dock checks most of the boxes for me, and for $70, it's a really great value. On the gaming side, I went with the Nintendo Switch 2. Now, I could have gone with a full-blown gaming PC. After all, that's what the Ultragear is designed for, but honestly, I've been having a blast with the Switch 2. The design feels like a proper upgrade. A bigger 1080p screen when you're handheld, 4K when docked, and redesigned Joy-Cons that have way better ergonomics. They're just chunkier, easier to hold, and way more comfortable to use. They've also added other things like dual USB-C ports, which means you can charge and play at the same time, whether you're handheld or in kickstand mode. But more than anything, it's the games that have me hooked. I've been playing a lot of DK Bonanza lately, and honestly, there's something so satisfying about smashing through a level. The other game I've been playing is Mario Kart World, and the new Knockout Tour has been so much fun. It's a completely fresh take on the Mario Kart series, and playing online definitely adds to the challenge. Over everything though, what I really like is because of its compact size, it takes a small footprint on my desk. So I usually keep a spare dock tucked away next to my monitor, and so all I have to do is pop in the Switch, grab the Joy-Cons, and then I can enjoy all of my games on the big screen. As for the speakers, I went with the Sonos Ray. While it's not the typical bookshelf speakers, it's a good option for a number of reasons. The design is clean and minimal, and the white finish blends in with the rest of my setup. Plus, thanks to its compact size, it sits on the desk shelf and fits right underneath the monitor. It comes with 4 speakers, 2 tweeters, and 2 midwoofers that handle the highs and the mids really well. Dialogue and voices come through sharp and clear, making it perfect for music and movies alike. And while it doesn't come with a dedicated subwoofer, it still does an adequate job of articulating the lows. Now, the trade-off here is connectivity. Unlike some of the higher tier offerings from Sonos, the Ray only comes with optical input, which really limits your options. In my case, I needed to get a USB-A to optical cable to get it to work. Even then, I didn't get direct control over the volume from my MacBook, and if you want to do that, you'll need to use something like AirPlay that restores the volume control, but then adds a noticeable delay. That said, if you do want to go down the optical route, you can still adjust the volume of the soundbar using the touch controls, which is not a total deal breaker. Now, when it comes to editing a video or doing some more private listening, I'll end up using the Sennheiser IE200s. I've talked about them before on the channel, and I never thought I'd be an in-ear monitor person, but they've quickly become a staple in my setup. The design is minimal, compact, and really understated. The shells sit flush in the ear so they don't stick out or feel bulky, and the ear hooks loop around naturally and mold to the contour of your ears. They're soft and flexible so they stay in place without digging in or creating pressure. The braided cable also looks and feels premium. If anything, the cable can feel a little bit short at times sitting at my desk, but a simple audio extension cable can usually solve that problem. Now, when it comes to sound, the IE200s really deliver. The highs are crisp without sounding harsh, the mids are full and detailed, and the bass is tight and controlled. That balance makes them great for both enjoying your music and then for more critical work like video editing and audio monitoring. You get the full range without anything getting muddied or lost. It's that combination of compact design, comfort fit, and great sound that make the IE200s my go-to. Now for peripherals, I use 2 main ones. First up is the NuPhy Air75 V3. The base is made of anodized aluminum with a clean white finish, accented with yellow and orange highlights to make it stand out, and because of the low profile design, key travel is a lot shorter, so it's a lot more comfortable for me for longer sessions. Though the standout feature is the rotary dial that by default controls the volume, but can be customized depending on the app you're using. And then the keyboard comes with full RGB with all sorts of different lighting patterns, and is accented by these two light bars. On the left, it shows a visualization of how fast you're typing, and then on the right, it shows you how much capacity is left over of the 4000 mAh battery. Typing on the Air 75 feels crisp and satisfying thanks to NuPhy's new upgraded switches. I'm using the red ones here, and it's still hot swappable, so you can change them out later if you want. Okay, so here's a really quick sound test so you can hear what it's like. Now, to round things out, in terms of connectivity, you've got three options: Bluetooth, 2.4 GHz over the included wireless dongle, and wired in using USB-C. For the mouse, I'm going with the Logitech MX Master 3S in white. It's a mouse that's been talked about endlessly, and there's a good reason why it's one of the best mice for productivity. The mouse is sculpted to fit your hand more naturally, and the ergonomics make it much more comfortable to use over a longer session. By far my favorite feature though is the maglock scroll wheel. A typical mouse will use mechanical notching to achieve its ratchet mode. With the 3S though, it uses electromagnets, so you can switch between a ratchet mode and free spin with a simple flick. It means more accurate scrolling, a smoother experience, and honestly, way more fun to fidget with. There's also a side scroll wheel that's super helpful when I'm panning around in apps like Figma or scrubbing through a timeline in something like Premiere Pro. The 3S charges using USB-C, and on the bottom you'll find the 3-device switcher that allows you to instantly jump between devices. And all of the 6+ buttons, including the scroll wheels, are fully customizable within the Logi Options Plus software. Now, if you've been following the rumors, you'll know that the MX Master 4 is actually right around the corner, so stay subscribed if you want to see the full review for that. As for the desk mat, I'm using this one that I found off of Amazon. I'm not even gonna try and pronounce the name. That said, it comes in PU leather in this beautiful mint green on one side, and then has cork on the other side. The cork has a good bit of weight, and the PU leather has a smooth finish that feels premium while still remaining practical. I like that it's easy to wipe down if I spill something, and it gives the whole desk a cleaner and more polished look. And finally, for lighting, I'm using this LED desk lamp from Honeywell. It comes in an all-metal build with a matte finish and then has this orange accent ring along the head. What really sets it apart is the flexibility built into the arm. The lamp features a 3-axis adjustable design, so you can bend or rotate it in almost any direction. It extends far enough to cover the whole desk, and it's incredibly easy to reposition depending on the task. In terms of the light itself, it's using Sunturalax LEDs that provide a warm, neutral glow at about 4000 Kelvin, which is easy on the eyes and avoids any harsh blue light. And the brightness is fully adjustable through the touch controls on the head, so by simply holding down the button, you can increase or decrease the brightness. Overall, it's a really great lamp option that combines strong design with thoughtful function. And that's pretty much it for this setup. What I really like about a one monitor setup is how balanced it feels. It's minimal enough without feeling too empty, and flexible enough to handle both work and gaming. But I want to hear what you think. Would you do a one monitor setup? Let me know down in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like and subscribe if you want to see more tech and desk setup content. As always, thanks for watching, and we'll catch you in the next one.